The United States shares a nearly 2,000-mile border with Mexico, encompassing diverse terrains such as deserts, rivers, and mountains. Managing this extensive boundary has been a subject of national focus for decades, leading to various initiatives aimed at enhancing border security. Central to these efforts is the construction of physical barriers, commonly referred to as the border wall. Today, we will explore the history, construction, and current status of the U.S. border wall. Efforts to secure the U.S. Mexico border date back to the early 1900s, when the primary concern was controlling the movement of livestock and goods across the international boundary. These initial barriers were simple barbed wire fences, erected by ranchers and local authorities rather than federal agencies. The fences were designed to prevent cattle from straying across the border and to manage the spread of diseases such as bovine fever, which could devastate livestock populations. At the time, these structures were scattered and unregulated, reflecting the limited government involvement in border enforcement. By the mid-20th century, as urban areas near the border began to grow, the focus of border management shifted from livestock control to human migration. During the 1940s, the U.S. introduced the Bracero program, a temporary labor agreement with Mexico that allowed millions of Mexican workers to enter the United States legally for agricultural and industrial jobs. Although the program aimed to regulate migration, it also highlighted gaps in enforcement, as many workers remained in the country beyond their authorized periods. In the decades following the Bracero program's termination in 1964, unauthorized migration increased significantly. In response, the U.S. government began to dedicate more resources to border security. However, efforts remained relatively fragmented until the late 20th century. By the 1980s, rising concerns about illegal substances trafficking and unauthorized immigration led to the establishment of the Border Patrol Tactical Unit, BORTAC, a specialized division of the U.S. Border Patrol tasked with addressing high-risk situations along the border. In the 1990s, a shift occurred as the United States faced an unprecedented increase in unauthorized border crossings. This surge was driven by a combination of economic challenges in Mexico, political instability in Central America, and the growing demand for labor in the United States. In response, the federal government implemented a series of targeted measures to deter unauthorized crossings in key areas. One of the most notable efforts was Operation Gatekeeper, launched in 1994 in the San Diego sector, which had become one of the busiest corridors for unauthorized crossings. This operation focused on constructing fences, installing floodlights, and deploying additional border patrol agents to create a hard border in urban areas. The aim was to push unauthorized crossings away from cities and into more remote and less accessible regions, where enforcement would be easier and the terrain more challenging for migrants to traverse. Similarly, Operation Hold the Line was introduced in 1993 in the El Paso sector of Texas. This initiative emphasized the visible presence of Border Patrol agents along the border, creating a show of force strategy. Agents were stationed in close intervals to form a human barrier, supported by fencing and surveillance. The goal was to deter crossings by demonstrating a robust enforcement presence, effectively creating a physical and psychological barrier for would-be crossers. Both operations marked a significant escalation in border security efforts, setting the stage for more comprehensive strategies in the years to come. These measures reflected a growing recognition that the challenges at the border were not limited to local issues but required coordinated federal action to address broader concerns of migration, trade, and security. A significant development in border security came with the passage of the Secure Fence Act in 2006, which authorized the construction of approximately 700 miles of fencing along the southern border. By 2011, about 650 miles of fencing had been completed, featuring a combination of vehicle barriers and pedestrian fences designed to impede unauthorized crossings. In 2016, border security became a prominent topic during the U.S. presidential election. The administration elected that year pledged to construct a comprehensive wall along the entire U.S. Mexico border. Between 2017 and 2021, approximately 450 miles of new barriers were constructed, with a significant portion replacing existing structures to enhance their effectiveness. The newly constructed sections predominantly feature steel bollards, vertical beams filled with concrete and anchored in a steel foundation. These structures, averaging 18 to 30 feet in height, allow for visibility between the two sides, aiding Border Patrol agents in monitoring activities. Construction in diverse terrains presented challenges, requiring adaptations to address geographical and environmental factors. The construction of border barriers has raised concerns regarding environmental and cultural impacts. A report by the Government Accountability Office in September 2023 highlighted that barrier construction had damaged sensitive ecosystems and indigenous cultural sites, including the blasting of a sacred indigenous burial site in Arizona. Efforts to mitigate such impacts include designing sections with small gaps or culverts to allow smaller animals to pass through. However, these measures have limitations. Border security encompasses more than physical barriers. Ports of entry serve as official crossings where individuals and goods are inspected, playing a critical role in managing legal traffic. Advanced technologies, such as surveillance systems, drones, and sensors, are employed to monitor remote areas, enhancing the capabilities of Border Patrol agents in detecting and responding to unauthorized crossings. As of January 2025, approximately 700 miles of various types of border barriers have been constructed along the U.S. Mexico border, covering about 1/3 of its total length. The remaining sections consist of natural obstacles, private lands, and areas where no construction is planned. The total expenditure on border wall projects has reached significant figures, with recent constructions between 2017 and 2021 costing approximately $15 billion. In addition to federal initiatives, state-level efforts have contributed to border barrier construction. The Texas Facilities Commission reported that as of November 2024, 50 miles of the Texas border wall had been completed, with active construction underway in multiple counties. The goal is to erect a minimum of 100 miles by the end of 2026. In October 2024, the administration approved the construction of a new section of the border wall in southern Texas, citing a rise in unauthorized crossings. This decision marked a continuation of barrier construction efforts, utilizing funds previously allocated for this purpose. For Border Patrol agents, the wall serves as one component of a multifaceted border security strategy. While physical barriers can deter and delay unauthorized crossings, they are complemented by personnel, technology, and infrastructure improvements at ports of entry to address the dynamic challenges of border management. The construction of the U.S. border wall reflects ongoing efforts to manage and secure the nation's southern boundary. It embodies the complexities of balancing security, environmental stewardship, and cultural preservation. As discussions continue, the border wall remains a significant element in the broader context of U.S. border policy and immigration reform.